The Broker with the Heart, coming to you live, this time from my office where I am about to um, research some properties that are, I call them suspect, only because I can't determine whether or not they're serious about moving forward until we go through some of the process and procedures that need to be followed. This site here will allow us to check into property records and recent transfers and information that is pertinent to the property from a title standpoint. And that will allow us to at least be able to determine that we're talking to the right person. Because nowadays some of this becomes a potential issue when you have so many online scammers out there that are doing things that shouldn't be done. But in any case, this is a facility that I am afforded by a friend and a colleague from USA National Title. They provide this to other realtors and myself included, with the idea that when we do our research and our fact finding and our due diligence, that we will be able to proceed with what follows. In this case, what follows would be for me to determine a start date with the homeowner, who at a certain point will decide to, yes, I'm going to sell, and yes, please prepare the paperwork. This part here is the preliminary. So let me start off by putting in the address that I'm looking up, and that will take me to another place here that will allow me to see what I just mentioned. In this case, a specific snapshot of a property with its accorded records. It was sold in 2021. It is a property in the Contra Costa County. It belongs to the person who had originally called. And in this case, I will leave names unmentioned, but I wanted to share with you the process behind the scenes. So in this case, I'm going to be looking at a detailed view. You may be able to see some of it. You might not see any of it, other than the fact that the screen is shifting from one screen to the next. But here I have the general information, owner information, location, tax, property, sales, finance, foreclosure, and at risk. So again, this is for a specific property out there in Contra Costa. If it were your property here in San Francisco or anywhere else in the local Bay Area, I would go through the same process to determine where the property is, to determine what it might look like, to determine who the owner of record is or who the owners of record are, because sometimes it's multiple people. But again, these are things that you would not see unless you're the owner that has contracted me to do this. And I use the term contracted loosely because up until now, this particular person only asked me for some information about whether or not they could secure the price that they're looking for. Most homeowners that I talk to will have a specific price in mind. I'm sure that if you're watching this video, you'll also be in the same group of folks that might have an interest in determining the value of your property. And yes, you can simply go to Zillow and get an estimate or a zestimate. But if you want something that's a little bit more factual and more specific to your specific property, then you would go through something a little bit more detailed, not just an algorithm that calculates, amongst other things, similar sizes, similar age, and similar regions, and some of the other demographics that they use to come up with value. But again, not to get into too much of that detail, I want to just go over two things here. One is I verify who the property owner is. I already did that. And two, I get a sense of whether or not they have anything that might be of concern. They added someone to the title, or they changed the vesting, or any number of other possibilities that might reflect on this preliminary research. So for the sake of keeping this brief and not going into too many particulars, the simple thing here is to click on Profile with Comps. That will give me the full report for this particular property. And what I mean by full report is any of those features that I pointed out: who owns it, when they bought it, what they used to transfer, whether it was a grant deed, some other documents that might not reflect normally, and a few other things. So again, that's in a nutshell some of the things that we do behind the scenes that will give you a better glimpse of what you're looking for in this particular case, whether or not the property will bring in the price that they're looking for. And my experience is yes. This will tell me whether my experience is on point or not. And typically I am. So on that note, let me sign off for now and look me up. I can help you with all your real estate needs. The Broker with the Heart. Until next time, signing off for now.